All right, chip of the day. Today's chip of the day is going to be a BGA2869, a mimic wideband amplifier. Been doing lots of mimics lately. Rev 3 in 2015. This one's by NXP, which is the spinoff from Philips. Philips used to own this, but now it's a separate company. Applications, low noise IF amplifier. 50 ohms, gain of 31.7 dB. Yeah, this is a nice one. Noise figure of 3.1, that's good. All right, so what is this guy? He's a little bitty package and good to 2 gigahertz, I believe. Let's see here, 5 volt part. Yeah, 4.5 to 5.5, 5 volt part. Takes about 24 milliamps. Power gain, yeah, typical 31, 37, yeah, 32, wow. Okay, so the interesting thing about this part isn't necessarily the part itself, but the actual data sheet. I found the data sheet intriguing for this diagram here. This is a demo board. And yeah, it's kind of funny. Let me put it this way, move the camera here a second. All right, so here's the little part. Here's the trace that comes in, goes through a diode, a capacitor, I'm sorry, capacitor. It's AC coupled in and AC coupled out. So this is the output, okay, so here we go. So it's strip line design. There's a ground plane underneath, okay? And then you reach in with a ground. Here's a ground, and here's a ground. And you put in a whole bunch of vias. So that's super, super standard. But then you say, well, wait a minute. What are all these things? And P14, P15, P16, 5, 6, 7, 9. Anyway, what are those things? And where do they go, okay? So there is a, you can't see it here, I'll have to draw it in. There's a trace right here, okay? And that trace goes to pin 1, and then the trace comes to this hole here, okay? And this is where you put in your power, VCC, right? And it comes along this trace, and then it goes into pin 1, which is power. Pin 1 is power. So you have a long lead. So a lot of times they put in a long lead for inductance reasons, or to space it away from the RF, you get it out of the way. But a lot of times it's like an inductor. Sometimes you'll put an actual inductor in series, okay? But this one just has a trace, but then it's got all these parts hanging off of it on both sides. And this doesn't make any sense to me at all. So if you read the component list here, C1 and C2, those are the input outputs. They're 470 picofarads, RF coupling capacitors. Okay, fine. 0603s, everything's an 0603. And then P5 through P24, position for multi-layered chip ceramic capacitor, C deck. So position. And then there's a footnote. For decoupling, a decoupling capacitor is used on one of the positions from P5 to P24. The results mentioned in this datasheet have been obtained using the decoupling capacitor deck on position P22. So you have all of these choices where to put your capacitor, and they said they're going to put it right here, okay? That's where they're going to put the capacitor. And then the data sheet all matches from there. So what does that do? Well, it sets up this long lead here, and I guess that's kind of like an inductor of sorts. And then there's this little tab here, if you didn't notice it. There's this little tab here. There's a little tab sticking out as well. So there's some shenanigans going on here. There's also a little tab right here on this trace right here. So these little stubs, a little stub there and a little stub there. Those are just PC board trace material. They just go out and stop. They can act kind of like an inductor or capacitor or quarter wave stub. They act like different little things. But you put a capacitor right here. Why not right there? Why not right there? And P22, what about P11? It's directly opposite. Are they the same? Would they give you the same value? Is it so that you can put two, one on each side at half the value? I mean, what the heck is going on? So comment below if you've ever seen anything like this done before. This is new to me. Very, very strange. Okay, so yeah, so that's the most amazing thing about this chip of the day is that picture right there. Very odd, very, very odd. Let's look at the rest of the data sheet. I don't think there's anything. It's a little gull wing part, but it's teeny tiny. So I did happen to, let me show you one thing. I want to show you one thing before we go here. Let's see here. Oh, here we go. All right. So let's keep this open and let's bring out the board. So I found a board on, of course, AliExpress. And I said, oh, I need one of those because I haven't seen one of those before. And it says RF in, RF out. It says it's 32 dB of gain. It says VCC is 9 to 12 volts. Okay, so a couple funny things going on. First of all, they didn't tell you what the part was. None at all. But if you go into the part and you look really, 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 really close, because this little thing is, I mean, here's a pencil. I mean, this thing is way, way tiny. There is one marking on it. It says capital M, capital D, little t. And that's the only marking on it. Now, there's a whole bunch of data websites online that are SMD marking translation website. You put in your you put in your marking on your part and it tries to find matches to that on other data sheets, okay? But if we look here, here's our capital M, here's our capital D, and it's followed with a T, which is that's made in Malaysia. So this part, I claim, is this chip of the day because it says MD little t. Here we are, MD little t. All right, so a couple interesting facts. What do I mean? VCC 9 to 12 volts. If you bought one of those and you hooked up 9 to 12 volts, I think you're going to blow it up because this is absolute maximum is 7 volts. So maybe it's not one of these, but I think it is, but I don't know. Yeah, so I think it's a 5 volt part, but this says it's, I don't know. This says it's 9 to 12 volts. It does have the frequency range right, and it does have the gain right. So let's go ahead and hook this thing up and see how it does, okay? All right, so I have the part. Can you see that on camera right there? I've got the part in line, and 0 is here. We will hook up some power, and see what it does. So here's ground, and here's 5 volts. And there we go. So this is the 0 dB line, so 5 dB, 10 dB, 15 dB. We're only getting about 17 dB of gain. And it's very mismatched. The waviness says that you're not 50 ohms. All right, another way to prove that it's wavy because it's probably not 50 ohms is you can take a look at the input S11 parameter, and it's certainly not 50 ohms. It's up there around 200 ohms, okay? So we've got a 200 ohm input impedance. Well, that's not right. So it could be that once again they used a PC board that was too thick for the traces. I don't know, but it's only a 200 ohm impedance, not 50 ohms. So there's something odd going on, and we're not getting the gain that we need either. So I say there's nothing to lose, even if I blow up the part, because I don't really need it for anything. Let's go ahead and crank the voltage up a little bit, okay? Just a tiny bit. We'll go up to the 7 volts, which I know is not going to harm anything. So I'm going up 5.5 volts, 6 volts, and 7 volts. So here we're at 7 volts. Now we're at about 100 ohms. Okay, we're at about 100 ohms. That's good. And our gain has gone up to 27 dB. Okay, well, that's at 7 volts. Okay, and what did the board said? 9 to something. 9 to what was it? 9 to 12 volts. So I say we'll go up a little farther. Like I said, if I blow up the part, I don't care. So let's go up to 9 volts. We'll see what happens. 7.5, 8, 8.7. Okay, 9 volts. So 9 volts, it's surviving, and we're up here at 30 dB. All right. And let's look at our 50 ohms. And our 50 ohms is better now. It's around 80 ohms. Okay, weird part. So I don't know what to think of it. I don't know what to think of it. It's now giving us our 30 and a half dB of gain at 9 volts. And it's acting better. The matching is acting better. So let's go ahead and crank it up to 12. I got nothing to lose. Got nothing to lose. Oh, it's not really changing much now. I'm at 10 volts now. And let's go up to 11 volts. Okay, there's 11 volts. And we're getting our 32 dB gain. And we are getting a little bit better in matching. So we're down to 67 ohms now. So yeah, I don't know. I do not know about this part. So we'll take it all the way up to 12 volts and see how she does. And yeah, we're at about 63 ohms. And we're up here around 32.3 dB of gain. So yeah, go figure. So it's a nice little part, but I don't know what the part number is. So that will be the conclusion. If anybody can steer me in the right direction, it's obviously not this part, but it has the same marking code, MD little t. So I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, if you can help me out, the chip of the day anyway, just because of that cool, the cool layout. I'm still very curious about that. So answer that question and answer this question. Why is my part funny? All right.